Oh, hello, everybody. Welcome to Sunday Night Ghost Stories Extra. Extra! Because we are on a Wednesday. Oh, look who's come to join us. It's his derpy lurpiness. Oh, that was well timed, derps. So here we are in the library. We have the fire on. We also have the special filter on that blurs the background, makes things a little bit more atmospheric, I think. Derpy disagrees with me. He thinks the show's all about him, don't you, Derps? What are we drinking tonight? Well, we're on a 2 beer strategy. So we're having from the Beer 52 subscription, we've got Remus American Blonde. What's it describe itself? This is by Yeasty Boys, Elements of Beer, Yeast. 3.4%, so not exactly not exactly powerful. Brewed and canned for Yeasty Boys in the EU, imported to the UK by Beer 52. Yeasty Boys is from New Zealand. Yeastyboys.co.nz. Ingredients: water, barley, wheat, hops, American yeast. So there's no dog in it. There's no dog in it, Derp. Sorry about that. So, yes, looking forward to getting into that. We are washing... Oh, it's very foamy. We are washing it down with Mit de Western Gold Honey from Lidl, which I got to say is my new favourite tipple. It's absolutely Gert lush. What do you know? We haven't even started reading a ghost story yet. And already we have a dead soldier. And run, VT.
Oh, it's jolly nice of you. Hello, dead soldier. Seen plenty of those in my time.
Indeed. What are we reading tonight? We are still reading the excellent Haunted Places of Scotland, 2nd edition. So, without further ado, because we've got adventures to talk about half time, we've got New Hales, Musselburgh. In landscaped parkland and woodland overlooking the Forth, New Hales is a plain and somewhat dour, stark and glowering symmetrical mansion built in 1686 by the architect James Smith and extended around 1750, which is 10 minutes to 6. There are fine Rococo interiors, including the library, and there is a good collection of paintings and portraits. A bit like my library. Look, there's a collection of paintings up there. The property was formerly known as White Hill, but the name was changed to New Hales when the property was purchased by Sir David Dalrymple, calling it after his East Lothian estate of Hales. Also see Hales Castle. New Hales was visited by many leading figures of the Scottish Enlightenment. The house is said to be haunted, and that's all it says. National Trust of Scotland House and Visitor Centre open Easter, then May to September, Thursday to Monday, closed Tuesdays and Wednesdays. Estate open all year, daily. Guided tours for visiting house. May be sensible to reserve a place. Telephone number and website. They've got maybe, but they've written it as maybe, one word. Should be 2 words. Anyway, what do you reckon, Derp? Should we have a beer? I think we will have a beer. I think we will have a beer. Yeah, again, in the magnificent Rush beer glass from Kirsten and Steve in the United States. Cheers, me beers. Just having a quick read to see if it said anything about it. No, it doesn't give you any story behind it. Very nice. Newstead, Melrose. The Roman fort was built to defend where Deer Street, approximately the A68, an important route, crossed the Tweed on its way north. The fort was named Trimontium after the 3 peaks on the Eildon Hills, which lie to the south, and was built by the Emperor Agricola in the 1st century AD. Not much is to be seen today except a flattened area and some remains of the defensive ditches, as well as matching camps nearby. In Melrose is an exhibition about the fort, the Trimontian exhibition, which has displays illustrating life on the frontier of the Roman Empire and many fascinating exhibits from Newstead. There are accounts that there have often been mysterious noises at Newstead, usually heard in the early evening, described as sounding as if some kind of building is being constructed, hammering, sawing, and banging. The sound of horns has also been reported, along with marching feet. Roman Fort website, www.trimontium.org.uk. Newstead, wasn't he a bass player in a heavy metal band? Jason Newstead. The name resonates for some reason, but right, let's have some more beer, Dirt. Cheers, me beard. Oh, lovely. Newton Castle. Newton and Ardblair castles are said to share the same ghost, the sorrowful Lady Jean Drummond. Newton was a property of the Drummonds, who feuded for many years with the Blairs of Ardblair. George Drummond and his son William were murdered in 1554 by a band of local lairds. Several of those involved were tried and outlawed, and 2 were executed for the slaying. A green lady reputedly haunts Newton, the sad and tragic apparition of Lady Jean, dressed in green silk, who searches for her love. Lady Jean fell in love with one of the Blairs of Ardblair, but appears to have died of a broken heart when she was betrothed to another man, drowning herself in a local marsh. An old and long ballad recounts the tale and has Jean involved with fairies, who gave her the green gown, the colour of the fairies, and generally believed to be unlucky. The castle was plundered in 1644 by the Marquess of Montrose, then burnt by Cromwell 5 years later, although the garrison is said to have survived by sheltering in the vaulted basement. While the castle burned, read that again. Difficult to read a book when you've got this lump sat in your lap. The castle was plundered in 1644 by the Marquis of Montrose, then burnt by Cromwell 5 years later, although the garrison is said to have survived by sheltering in the vaulted basement while the castle burned around them. Newton later passed to the Macphersons, is in good condition, and is still occupied. And that's all we've got to say about that. Beer time, Dirt. Slange. Oh, lovely. Right. Nicky Tam's Bar and Bothy, Stirling. In the heart of the historic burg of Stirling, Nicky Tam's is an atmospheric and popular free house and bar. The bar is said to be haunted, and manifestations are believed to include half-seen apparitions or shadowy figures, people feeling as if they have been touched, and unexplained voices when nobody is about. Glasses are also reported to have fallen from a shelf by themselves, and gas cylinders for beer are found to have been turned off. An event which is supposed to have prompted the spooky happenings was the discovery of the photo of a clergyman, perhaps from Victorian times, which had been hidden in a niche in a wall and was found by workmen during renovations in 1999. The photo is on display behind the bar. Public house, telephone number, website. Oh my goodness me, the website is www.myspace.com/Nicky Tams. MySpace. I remember that. A paranormal investigation was undertaken in March 1999 by Paranormal Encounters Group. Website address. Oh gosh, MySpace. Goodness me. The precursor to Facebook. Remember when Facebook started up? Was it 20 years ago? Goodness me. Anyway, cheers me beers. We're not quite at the quarter-way mark. So, Nicole Edwards, Edinburgh. Nicole Edwards is a popular and atmospheric pub in the old town of Edinburgh and is named after a Lord Provost of the city in the 16th century, who reputedly was a miser and left a great treasure somewhere within the walls. The hostelry features 3 bars over 3 levels: the main bar and Mary, Queen of Scots Lounge. So the main bar and Mary, Queen of Scots Lounge, the Scots bar, and the music box. And again, the main bar and Mary, Queen of Scots Lounge, the Scots bar and the music box, and the Vaults bar and banqueting hall. This is why we have semicolons, and it is the latter area which is said to be the most haunted part of the pub, and there are numerous accounts of mysterious occurrences affecting both staff and customers. One story is that the boy got trapped in one of the chimneys and suffocated, and his bogle has been witnessed in the building. Public house telephone number, website address, featured in TV's Most Haunted Live 2006. 2006 still feels like the recent past, 20 years ago. Goodness me, is that even possible? Terrifying. Slange. Yep, we are through the quarter of the show, so it's bump time. Oh, that's lovely. Oh, that's how I always imagine Scotch should taste. It's got a lovely sweetness to it. Right, Niddry Street Vaults, Edinburgh. Described by some as the most haunted place in Scotland, the vaults are contained within the foundations of the 19 stone arches of Southbridge, which spans the dip over the Cowgate and was built in 1788. Tenements were built on each side of the bridge, rising many stories, and the vaults were used for a variety of purposes, including as workshops, storage, and for dwelling places, but were eventually abandoned, except for use as air raid shelters during World War II. In the 1990s, the vaults were cleared out and opened up for visitors, and there are many reports of bogles and supernatural activity. The Niddry Street Vaults are said to be haunted by a poltergeist, which is claimed to be mostly witnessed in one of the large vaults and to have attacked visitors, especially females. There are said to have been many sightings and supernatural occurrences. The haunted vault can be visited, although cameras, torches, and electrical equipment are reputed to have been damaged or drained of power in this chamber. In another chamber is what is alleged to be a pagan temple, a circle of stones on the floor. The temple is reported to have been disused because of bad things happening, and people are not supposed to go into circle as this may cause them harm or ill luck. Auld Reekie Tours leave from Tronkirk, telephone number, website. A paranormal investigation was undertaken in May 2008 by Scottish Society of Paranormal Investigation and Analysis. Oh, I got the beer hiccups. Website address. Featured in Living TV's Most Haunted Series 3, 2003, Most Haunted Series 11, 2008, and Living TV's Most Haunted Live 2006. Goodness me, has Most Haunted been going that long? When did it start? Series 3, 2008. I think it must be 2001. We'll look that up at halftime. I mean, it's absolute toss, that show, but it's good entertainment. But the one thing I will say is rather ironic that since Derek Acorah has passed away, he's not come back as a ghost. Cheers, me beers. Oh, we're going to have to ration that beer to the end of the show, Derp. So we might be on the bump element a bit more. Oh, that is lovely. Nivingston House Hotel. Standing in 12 acres of secluded and landscaped gardens is the former Nivingston House Hotel. It nestles at the foot of the picturesque Cleash Hills and was housed in a mansion dating from 1725 with later extensions. The hotel has closed. The building is said to be haunted, and since 1980 there have supposedly been at least 3 sightings of an apparition of an old woman dressed in night clothes. The ghost allegedly leaves one bedchamber and enters another chamber, now a bedroom, but formerly a ballroom. It was the room from where the ghost leaves that a former owner reputedly shot himself in the early 1900s. Other alleged manifestations include the sound of footsteps and doors closing when there is nobody about. The noises always come from the same part of the building. Nothing to add to that. So I'm just going to go back to the previous story where it said, and people are not supposed to go into circle, as this may cause them harm or ill luck. I think that should be the circle. I know I'm proofreading this book, but can't help it. It's pretty much what I do for a living. Well, I don't proofread for a living, but I'm forever proofing my own artwork for a living. So, right, let's have some more beer and a bump. You comfortable there, Derps? I think he is. Look, I think he's very, very comfortable there. He's got his paw wrapped around my knee. Ouch. And into my knee. Slange me, everybody. I'm slightly out of focus there. That's better. Noble House, Linlithgow. The office in Noble House is reputedly haunted, and staff have reported seeing the apparition of an old man, hearing a man's voice when nobody was about, and have experienced other activities such as books flying off a shelf. The disturbances became so bad that in 2006, the company chairman brought in a priest and historian to see if he could sort out the problem. The office is believed to have been built on the site of an explosives factory, which was damaged by an explosion during World War I. It is thought that 2 female workers and a male foreman were killed in the blast, and one explanation for the haunting is that it was caused by the bogle of the foreman. Sorry, I'm just going to go back there. The office is believed to have been built on the site of an explosives factory, which was damaged by an explosion during World War I. It's not going to be difficult to check, is it? I mean, that's recent history, 100 years ago, but should be able to find that out, shouldn't we? Not we, you know what I mean, the royal we. Yeah, I'm not buying that. Anyway, there's no more information on that. What do you reckon, Dirk? Do you think we should have some a little sip of beer? What are we up to? 21 minutes and just gone past 21:12, which for the old Rush fans would be a marvelous coincidence. We are sipping the beer. I think we might down this I've forgotten what it's called now, Western Gold Honey, and I think we might have some of the chocolate liqueur. So hidden under the desk is the Ballycastle limited edition mini chocolate eggs flavour country cream. Mini chocolate eggs flavour country cream. Ah, what the hell? I did over 5 miles of walking today. I've forgotten how many calories I burned up, but I think it was about 800 odd. So we're going to take the hit tonight. Right, here we go. Notland Castle. A strong and grim stronghold in a remote location. Notland Castle is a large, ruined 16th century Z-plan tower house built by Gilbert Balfour. Balfour was master of the household to Mary, Queen of Scots. He acquired the property by marrying Margaret Bothwell, whose brother was the Bishop of Orkney, and granted the lands to Balfour. Balfour had been involved in the murders of Cardinal David Beaton in 1546, for which he was imprisoned and became a galley slave, and Henry Stuart, Lord Darnley, in 1567. Yeah, again. That doesn't scan right. Balfour had been involved in the murders of Cardinal David Beaton in 1546, for which he was imprisoned and became a galley slave, and Henry Stuart, Lord Darnley, in 1567. He supported Mary after she fled to England, but when her cause became hopeless, he fled to Scotland and served in the Swedish army until his death, being executed for treason against the Swedish king in 1576. The castle was abandoned about 1760 and is ruinous. A death in the Balfour family was reputedly heralded by a ghostly howling dog, the Boki Hound, while births and marriages were announced by an eerie spectral light. The castle is also said to have had a brownie, the spirit of an old man which helped folk in need, beaching boats or clearing roads, and is said to have been well liked by the Balfour family. The brownie is reported to have only left when the castle was abandoned. Historic Scotland, open, telephone number, Skara Bray, telephone number, website address. Now, nothing more to add to that, Derps. I have a little sip of, what are we up to? 24 minutes. A little sip of beer, but we'll have some of the chocolate liqueur. So, oh, lovely. Slange. Oh, lovely. Oh, that is very nice. I forgot why we are there for a second. Norwood Hall, Aberdeen. Set in 7 acres of wooded grounds, Norwood Hall is a fine mansion with an imposing staircase. The house was rebuilt in 1881 for the Ogston family and stands near the site of Pitfordell's Castle, which was on high ground slightly to the southeast. Pitfordell's was held by the Reeds, but passed by marriage in the 16th century to the Menzies family. Norwood Hall is now a prestigious family-owned hotel. The building is reputedly haunted by 2 ghosts. One is said to be the apparition of the mistress of Colonel James Ogston, and her ghost has supposedly, one is said to be the apparition of the mistress of Colonel James Ogston, and her ghost has supposedly been seen on the main stair. The story is that the poor woman despaired after Ogston would not leave his wife, and she waits for his return. The other bogle is believed to be Ogston himself, and is described as the apparition of an elegant gentleman. It has reportedly been seen in the dining room in recent times, when it went from the wine cupboard across the chamber, stopping for a brief moment in front of the log fire before going through to the kitchen. Hotel, telephone number, website, and that's all we have to say on that. What are we up to, Derps? 23 minutes. A couple more, and then we'll have half time. So slides with everybody. Of course, the only problem with this chocolate liqueur is that it does coat the shot glass in chocolate liqueur loveliness, but oh, very nice. Old Castle Inn, Dundonald. I wish somebody would do Donald, but there we go. The Old Castle Inn is said to be haunted. Manifestations are believed to have included several female staff feeling as if they had had their bottoms pinched, or as if someone is pushing past them. There are also reports of unexplained footsteps and other noises. On one occasion, although securely placed on a gantry, 12 jugs of water all flew off by themselves, and the CO2 for the beer had switched itself off. Activity is said to have increased since the building was renovated. A paranormal investigation is to be undertaken by the Dunfermline Paranormal Research Fellowship. What are we up to? 28 minutes. What are we at in Derp? I think we'll get another couple in, and then it'll be half time. Then I can bore you with my adventures. I'm desperate for some grub tonight. So cheers, me biz. Oh, the beer hiccups. Slange. Old King's Highway, Aberdeen. Located by the Green, originally the marketplace for Aberdeen, the Old King's Highway is a public house which was originally established as a hostelry in 1741, which is almost 5:45. The building is said to be haunted. I would hope so. This is a book about ghosts. There are reports of objects being moved about, disembodied voices, and areas being unexpectedly cold and foreboding, as well as the alleged sightings of 2 apparitions, a man and a lady, spotted near the windows at the front of the establishment. That's all they say. Public house, telephone number. A paranormal investigation was undertaken in July 2008 by East of Scotland Paranormal. Website address. What are we up to, Derps? We have just gone through the 30-minute mark. Incroyable, everybody. Incroyable. Right. What can we report on today? Well, today was a 2-Reg walk, and it was Reg's choice of venue. And Reg decided that we should do our old standby, which is Kongsbury to Rington, which we've done loads of times before. Absolutely love this walk. So this is us on the outward leg on the bridge over the River Yeo. I got to say, Reg is looking very well. He's starting to put on a bit more weight after his chemotherapy for Hodgkin's lymphoma. That is a plant which is green alkanet. I knew that before I identified it, but fabulous plant. Must try and get some cuttings and grow some because it's good ground cover. And that is blackthorn. Loads of it around as well. So brilliant plant. Tulips, that was in Rington. And that was my victuals at Rington. It was my shout this week. So I had a flapjack and we shared a pot of tea. Reg had a bacon sandwich or whatever. And there's Reg, the mother hen coffee and gifts in Rington. Brilliant place. Absolutely fabulous. The people there are lovely, always very warm to us and welcome us. Yeah, love it. Love the place. And as you can see, he has polished off his bacon. I can't remember what it was, like a bacon wrap or something. But anyway, and this is on the return leg. So this is one of the old streets in Rington. I must turn that into a black and white image just to see what it looks like. But this is on the road called Ladywell, as you can see by the road sign there. And oh God, what was that, Derbs? I'm just going to look that up. I think I know what that was. Let me sorry, I'm just slagging off Nigel Farage for a second there. Of course I am. It's my democratic duty to do so. So red flowering currant, according to Apple. I'm just going to check that in OBS Identify. And OBS Identify says flowering currant. So there we go. And then that was like a little stream runs towards Rington. And there we are on the Arnhem Bridge over the River Yeo, back at Congsbury again. That's where we started today. And then back at Reg's, he treated me to some little scones with raspberry jam. With butter as well. Absolutely delicious. And there we go. That was the sum total of today's walk. 5.07 miles, 14,003 steps, 813 calories burned off today. And there we are on the start of the walk on the Arnhem Bridge. It's one of our favourite walks. It is absolutely brilliant. I love that walk, and especially today because the ground was quite firm. We haven't had any rain for about a week. Usually it's like a quagmire, but today we were good to go. But fingers crossed, this time next week, the beer burp's coming on, folks, 35 minutes and 20 seconds. There we go. I'm hoping this time next week we will have done our first West Somerset Railway walk or trip of the year, of the season. The only thing is I need to get the car checked because I've got a couple of warning lights that come up on the dashboard. But, well, I need to get paid first. But, yeah, we'll look into that. But, yes, absolutely brilliant walks today. So thank you, Reg. We're going to have some wasabi snacks from Lidl. Delicious. Absolutely incroyable. So April the 1st today, I did prank Reg. I've just been cracking up. Well, so as soon as I got back from the walk this afternoon, I was cracking on with artwork again. Tomorrow, I have got to go on a rescue mission to see if we can save some. Happy there, Dirk? See if we can save some tulips on a roundabout that is about to be demolished to make way for our railway station. I am really looking forward to having the railway back, but we're going to see if we can save as many tulips as possible. So Derpy, we've almost done with the I will blame friend Faye for this. There is friend Faye. She got me into wasabi beans from our trip to the Chinese supermarket in Easton in Bristol. I have since discovered that Lidl do their own wasabi mix. There it is. There's another pack there. Incroyable, everybody. Incroyable. It is lovely stuff. Now, I am mindful of the fact that we do also have some, in the new Beer 52 pack here, we do have some snacks, which I started eating. A bit vinegary for me. Mega mixed barbecue. So let's just give these a go. Not bad. Not bad. So we've just gone through the 91-minute mark, 39-minute mark, 91 minutes, 31-minute mark. So cheers, my beers. Oh, lovely. Strange. Right, so part deux of tonight's beer. And it's our old favourite, the coffee stout from Aldi. Which one of our Rush beer top openers are we going to use tonight? I think we use the new one. Oh, Derp, I am so girt hungry tonight. I cannot wait to have some victuals and watch another episode of Gardener's World on catch up, which will inspire me to get on with some gardening this week when I finish work. Oh, this is now an interesting mix of the Western Gold honey and also the chocolate liqueur as well. So just made my own drink. I'm just going to check my fan mail here a second. We've just gone through the hour, just gone through 9 o'clock. Goodness me. And that's what I really want to go and see is the Woman in Black at the Bristol Old Vic, live on stage. Just need to get paid. So So I'm just trolling Matt Goodwin. Right, let's crack on, shall we? Right, let's get on to part 2 of tonight's show. Derp is still parked on my lap here. I think it's because he's waiting for some more supper. Look, can you see him there? There he is. Got his paws wrapped around my knee. Ouch, as he digs in. As soon as I mention that. So, Old Manse leg. The Old Manse, which has been demolished, was said to have been haunted by the Reverend Thomas Mackay, who had been the minister. He died peacefully in his sleep in 1803, but his apparition is alleged to have been seen in 1827 and later, and his ghost is believed to still haunt the site. Nothing to add to that. Let's have some of the coffee stout from Aldi, rich, dark and indulgent, brewed by Hall and Woodhouse, the famous pop duo. Rich, dark and indulgent with subtle coffee aromas, caramel and vanilla notes. Complex, yet perfectly smooth. Was it 4.8%? 5.2%. I've forgotten how much it is. Let's just read what the ingredients are. There's no coffee in it, thank God. Ingredients. Can't find where the ingredients are. Coffee flavor beer. Allergy advice. Contains barley and sulfates. May also contain wheat. Oh, I love this stuff. It is marvelous. Absolutely marvelous. Oh, let's top the beer up, shall we, Derps? We might be on for another Dead Soldier tonight at some stage. Anyway, cheers, me beers. And in the magnificent United Federation of Planet shot glass, again, courtesy of viewers Steve and Kirsten in the United States, Slange. Oh, that's lovely. Old Post Horn Inn, Crawford. The inn dates from 1744, but was closed some years ago and is now derelict. Sorry, the inn dates from 1744, but was closed some years ago and is now derelict. It is said to be haunted by at least 3 ghosts. I think there should be a witch in there. The inn, which dates from 1774, but was closed some years ago and is now derelict, is said to be haunted by at least 3 ghosts. One is reputed to be that of a young girl who was killed by a coach in Main Street and who was the daughter of an innkeeper. Her apparition reputedly seen in the dining room, which was originally the stables. That doesn't scan. Her apparition was reputedly seen in the dining room, which was originally the stables, and the ghost is said to have moved the chairs around and to sometimes have been heard singing to herself. Another phantom is reportedly that of a coachman spotted wearing a dark cloak who is believed to have died in snow during 1805. There are also accounts of the phantom of a 5-year-old girl hanged for stealing bread. Really? Her ghost has reportedly been seen in the neighbouring countryside, as well as occasionally in the inn. Ghostly Roman legionnaires are also said to have been seen marching up the main street. However, They can only be, however, they can only be seen from the knees up, as the level of the road in Roman times was lower than it is today. Nothing to add to that. Slange. Oh, lovely. Cheers, me beers. Oh, lovely. Old Rectory Guest House, Callander. Nestled under the Callander Crags in the holiday village of Callander, this Victorian villa, formerly used as an inn, is now a guest house. The building is said to be haunted by the ghost of a highwayman, which is reputedly witnessed in the kitchens, although there are no recent reports of activity. Guest house, telephone number, website. What are we up to? 47 minutes. Got another 13 minutes of this nonsense. I mean, another 13 minutes of this quality entertainment, Dirk. Then we can go downstairs and give you some more dinner, which is what he's up here for. He did come downstairs before I came upstairs to get ready for the show, and he was hanging around his food in the hallway. He's got biscuits, though. It's not like he's starving. In fact, you could do with losing a bit of weight, you big fat turd. But I also got to remember when I get paid to get your flea treatment. So anyway, cheers, me beers. Slange. Old Smugglers Inn, Auchencairn, or Auchencairn. The old inn stands in the peaceful village of Auchencairn, but was the haunt of smugglers, being both near the coast and a convenient stopping off place on the old route through Galloway. No, not him. The building is said to be haunted by a bogle, which is known as Old Gladys. Manifestations are alleged to include unexplained footsteps, electrical equipment and lights being switched on and off, and objects being moved about, including a powder compact being lifted from a handbag while on the floor. A handbag! There are also reports of the sightings of an apparition in one of the rooms, and when Border Television was recording at the inn, a shadowy figure was later seen on the footage, even though nobody had noticed anything spooky at the time. The ghost is said to be displeased. The ghost is said to be displeased when anyone takes its favourite position at the fire. The inn is closed, apparently temporarily, at the time of writing. Hotel temporarily closed at time of writing. Telephone number. Sorry, Derb, is my arm annoying you? I do apologise. I can feel him digging his claws into me. What are we up to? 50 minutes. 10 more minutes of this, Derps, and then we can go downstairs and I can have some supper and watch Gardener's World, and you can have some supper and watch me watch Gardener's World. So, it's going to be a 4 bumper tonight. So, Old Swan Inn, Paisley. The Old Swan Inn is said to be haunted, and that's it. That's all. Honestly, there. I don't know if you can see that. Let's see if I can get it up on screen. The Old Swan Inn, and that's all it says about it. The old Swan Inn, Paisley. The Old Swan Inn is said to be haunted. The end. Public house telephone number. A paranormal investigation was undertaken in March 2007 by Spirit Finders Scotland. Website address. Do you know what we're going to do, Derp? We're going to have some of the... Got the beer burps again. Oh, the beer burps. Do apologise. We're going to have the last couple of chocolates from our Ramadan calendar. I'm just seeing where we're up to. I think we're up to the 30th. I think it only goes up to the 30th. Or does it go up to the 31st? Should go up to the 31st because that was the 31st of March, but it could just be 30 days of Ramadan. So okay, last chocolate from Ramadan, and guess what? There's nothing in there. And that's because all the chocolates have fallen out. I'm going to check that afterwards, but no, there's nothing left in there. So what we are going to do is we're going to have some more wasabi mix. Let's have some more wasabi mix, shall we, Derp? What do you do on Wednesday night? I don't know. I tuned in to watch Sunday Night Ghost Stories Extra, but instead was treated to a confused man from Dudley with holes in his head, with a cat sat on his lap, munching bloody wasabi mix from Lidl. Anyway, Old Woodhouse Lee Castle. Sadly, not Old Geddy Lee Castle, but there we go. Old Woodhouse Lee Castle. An old castle here, which is now very ruinous, was owned by the Hamiltons of Bothwell How and has a tragic ghost story. Story goes that one winter night, a favourite of the Regent Moray turned up at Woodhouse Lee and threw Lady Hamilton and her child out into the snow in only their nightwear. The infant died from the cold, and Lady Hamilton went mad with despair, weeping herself to death. Her sad ghost, dressed in white, was frequently reported searching through the castle and countryside for her child. At one time, her ghost is said to have been often seen on cold, moonlit nights. Her bogle is usually described as a white lady, but it has also been called a green lady. Her husband, James Hamilton of Bothwell How, shot and killed Regent Moray at Linlithgow in 1570, possibly as an act of revenge for his wife and child, then fled Scotland. Although another account has this Lady Hamilton alive as late as 1609, which is almost 10 minutes past 4. The castle was demolished in the late 17th century, and much of the stone was used to build Woodhouse Lee at Fulford. Also see that entry. Itself now gone. Lady Hamilton's ghost is said to have translated to this new house, but this may be a confusion over names. 55-minute mark, Derp. Now we need to top up the beer. For the second time tonight. Ha, jolly nice of you. Hello, dead soldier. Seen plenty of those on my time. Ha 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 ha. And run VT.
Oh, it's jolly nice of you. Hello, dead soldier. Seen plenty of those in my time.
Indeed. Derp has left the building. He's going downstairs for some supper, so gonna have to wait. Cheers, me beers. Sloan. Oh, God, blimey. Sloan. We're going to have to top that up. Goodness me, a 4-bump show? Surely not. I remember when we started this at the height of lockdown, and it used to be 1 bottle of beer and 2 bumps. Oran Moor, Glasgow. Previously used as the Kelvinside Free and Parish Church and as a Bible Institute, the Oran Moor, Gaelic for birdsong, was built in 1862, but was converted in 2002 into a cultural centre and meeting place with a nightclub, bars, restaurant, and an event space. The minister of the church between 1865 and 1907 was Walter Ross Taylor, and a story is that his body is one of 2 buried in the walls of the building. Several mysterious events have taken place here, including disturbing presences being felt by staff, chairs being moved by themselves, and an office door being found open several times, despite not only being closed, but also having been locked. Cultural centre, bars, restaurant, nightclub, and private event space. Telephone number, website. A paranormal investigation was undertaken in April 2006 by Ghost Finders. Website address. April 2006. That still feels like the recent past. Oh my goodness me. Sorry, I just lost where the page was, where I was. April 2006, ladies and gentlemen, 20 years ago. That does not seem possible. How can 2006 be 20 years ago? Well, it can be 20 years ago by the fact that obviously it's 20 years ago, but cheers, me beard. Oh, got some fan mail. Sound. Oh, delicious, right. Ord House. With 60 acres of the gardens and woodlands, the handsome and stylish Ord House dates from about 1810, but has a date stone of 1637 and may incorporate work from the 17th century. Ord was a property of the Mackenzies, but the building is now a fine hotel. The house is said to have the bogle of a lady, an apparition which has been witnessed both in corridors and sitting at the end of a bed in one of the rooms. The sounds of unexplained footsteps have also been reputedly... Read that again. The sounds of unexplained footsteps have also reputedly been heard. The ghost has also been blamed for removing pictures, presumably because of a dislike for them, and propping them neatly and unbroken against walls. Hotel, telephone number, website. No, that's it. That's it for that one. Goodness me, I'm flagging here, folks. We've just bumped through the hour mark, so let's get to the end of this page, and then we can go and have some supper. So cheers, me beers. Slange. Oh, we got some fan mail. Who's fan mailing me? Bear with. Oh, itchy nose. I don't know what it is about bloody beer that it gets my nose itching. Oh, the beer burps again. Right. Oh, the beer burps. Let's get them out. Oh, there we go. Ord House with 60 acres of the gardens with 60 acres of the gardens and woodlands. The handsome. Oh, we've read that one just now, actually. Right. Overtoun House. Overtoun House is a large baronial mansion dating from the mid-19th century and built for James White, a successful chemical manufacturer. The house stands on the site of an old castle. And the house stands on the site of an old castle, once held by the Colquhorns. The house and some of the land were given over to the people of Dumbarton in 1939, after which Overtoun was used as a maternity hospital until 1970. It is now a Christian centre for hope and healing, and the estate around the house is open to the public with formal gardens and a nature trail. The house is said to be haunted by the apparition of a woman dressed in Victorian style. There are also strange stories regarding Overtoun Bridge, claiming that more than 50 dogs have jumped to their deaths from the bridge in the last 50 years. Park open all year, daily. Website address. A paranormal investigation was undertaken in 2005, which is 21 years ago. I don't get it. Well, I do get it, but passage of time scares me. Oh, we got some fan mail turned up. Cheers, me beers. Let's just read the fan mail. Slange. It's going to be a 4 bumper tonight. Might even be a 5 bumper. Of course, tonight is the launch of the Artemis rocket, which is exciting stuff for me because I'm of the generation that grew up with the Apollo moon landings and watching Raymond Burke on BBC television talking about this. and also the BBC's coverage using also Sprach Zarathustra by Strauss, which was used for 2001: A Space Odyssey. So this is all part of my era, and we're going to have some more wasabi mix as well. But what are we up to? Hour and 6 minutes, right? We're going to have a top up tonight. We're going to have some more of the chocolate. So what are we up to? 1 hour and 7 minutes, right? O'Brien's, Glasgow. O'Brien's, formerly Graham's Bar, is a small public house. The building is said to be haunted by the spirit of a little old woman lady. Little old woman lady? Little old woman or little old lady? The building is said to be haunted by the spirit of a little old woman lady. Witness shrouded in a tartan shawl which hides her face, seen sitting by the fireplace. Public house telephone number. That's very poorly written. Right, I think we're coming up to the last. Yeah, I think we'll do the last 3 for tonight, and then we're going downstairs and having some supper and watching Gardener's World. So, slash me by everybody. And we're going to have some more wasabi mix and chocolate liqueur. Paisley Abbey. Paisley Abbey is an impressive and evocative church dating from the 13th century, with a very long and interesting history. Founded as a priory in 1163 by Walter, son of Alan, Steward of Scotland, this replaced an ancient Christian establishment dedicated to Saint Mirren. Not Helen Mirren, but I dedicate anything to Helen Mirren, but there we go. The priory was elevated to an abbey in 1219, and the abbey church was restored in the 20th century and is used as a parish church. In the abbey is preserved the stone effigy of Marjorie, daughter of Robert the Bruce, as well as the tomb of Robert III. The Baroque cross, dating from as early as the 8th century and decorated with warriors and human figures, is also housed here. Some stories have the church haunted by the apparitions of monks. Any of them called Harry? Let's find out. Open all year, Monday to Saturday. Telephone number, website. We've got some fan mails turned up. Let's just read the fan mail. Right. Sorry, folks, bear with me a second whilst I so I'm just trying to save something to bear with. Bear with, folks. Right, biscuit time, snack time. I thought Derp just jumped up on there. Possibly the last Derp for tonight. Paisley Art Institute, opposite the University of Paisley and founded in 1876. The Paisley Art Institute is located in Paisley Art Gallery, a fine building in the style of a Greek temple, which was paid for by the famous Coates family of Paisley. This, along with other industrialists, donated many works of art to the gallery. The building is said to be haunted. Manifestations are said to include the sound of heavy footsteps coming from an empty and locked room, as well as disembodied whispering. It is also said that very heavy clays were mysteriously moved one night, although nobody was present. It then took 3 people to return the clays to their proper place. Art Institute website address. No, that's going to be it for tonight, folks. Oh, Derp is up on the windowsill. Wondering where he was. Sound. Cheers, me beers. Pananic Wells Hotel, Ballater. The former hotel here, a historic inn which dates from 1760, has had guests including Lord Byron and Queen Victoria, the former Pananic Wells Hotel, Ballater. The former hotel here, a historic inn which dates from 1760, has had guests including Lord Byron and Queen Victoria. Not at the same time, at least I don't hope so. John Brown, Queen Victoria's manservant, worked in the hotel before going on to serve the Queen, which I think those of you who know was the character played by Billy Connolly in was it the film Mr. Brown? I can't remember, but Judi Dench played Queen Victoria. Oh, do you know what? We're going to look it up. Mr. Brown, let's just go. Mr. Brown, Billy Connolly. Mrs. Brown. Here we go. Mrs. Brown, also released in cinemas as Her Majesty Mrs. Brown, is a 1997 British drama film starring Judi Dench, Billy Connolly, Geoffrey Palmer, Anthony Sher, and Gerald Butler in his film debut. It was written by Jeremy Brock and directed by John Madden. The film was produced by the BBC and Ecossy Films with the intention of being shown on BBC One and on WGBH's Masterpiece Theatre. However, it was acquired by Miramax and released to unexpected success, going on to earn more than $13.2 million worldwide. Yeah, there we go. I knew that. Well, roughly knew what I was talking about anyway. I can't remember where we were. Yeah, can't remember where we are. Yes, that's where we were. Right, let's try it again. Pananic Wells Hotel, Ballater. The former hotel here, a historic inn which dates from 1760, has had guests including Lord Byron and Queen Victoria. John Brown, Queen Victoria's manservant, worked in the hotel before going on to serve the Queen. There we go. And being played by Billy Connolly in a 1997 film. The building and the neighbouring area are said to be haunted by a grey lady, the phantom of a young and slim woman, seen dressed in a grey blouse and long, dark skirt, perhaps the ghost of a Victorian maid. The ghost is reported to have been seen quite often and to be friendly. Other alleged disturbances include unexplained noises, such as disembodied breathing and the moving of furniture and the opening of doors when nobody is apparently present, as well as the smell of violet perfume. This latter manifestation may be from a separate ghost, said to have been witnessed in room 1. A further apparition is said to be that of a young boy, observed begging for water. That's pretty much it. I'm just having a look to see. We'll keep the rest of them for Sunday Night Ghost Stories Extra on a Friday. Keep your audience wanting. Cheers, me dears. Although in my instance, it would be keep your audience wanting him to stop doing this bloody show. But anyway, slange me var. Oh, that is lovely. Right, everybody, that's it for tonight. Fingers crossed, we'll be back on Friday for, brace yourselves, Sunday Night Ghost Stories Extra on a Friday, where we'll still be reading the excellent Haunted Places of Scotland. What a great book. So until then, it behoves me to say thank you for watching. Why? Why not? What else are you going to do on a Wednesday night rather, on the 1st of April, than watch a confused man from Dudley with holes in his head, drink ghost stories, and read alcohol? Come on, folks, you can do better. I can't. I'm trapped into doing this, but you can do better. So until the next time, as ever, thank you for watching. Stay safe, stay out of trouble, and please don't have nightmares. Good night.